The WBC officially ordered number 1 Deontay Wilder to face number 2 Andy Ruiz Jr. in a final eliminator to decide the mandatory challenger to heavyweight champion Tyson Gypsy King Fury for his belt.
I'm hungry, I want to be champion again and bring that belt back to Mexico!
For a 6-month stretch in 2019, Wilder and Ruiz controlled the heavyweight division and were on a collision course to meet for an undisputed bout. Ruiz, however, failed to defend the titles he won from Anthony Joshua by losing a landslide decision to the Brit, and Wilder soon after lost his title to Fury.
And we will rise like a phoenix from the ashes and regain the title.
Wilder and Ruiz both recently scored the WBC eliminator wins. Wilder on October 15th with a first round knockout of Robert Helenius, and Ruiz on September 4th with a narrow decision win over Luis Ortiz. Now, if the sanctioning body's order pans out, the two uncrowned contenders will face each other in order to take another positive step toward the title shot. The Bronze Bomber hasn't beaten Tyson Fury in 3 attempts, but is lining up a 4th bout with the world champion.
We'll see what the future holds, but the future's bright for the Gypsy King, and I ain't going nowhere.
In what is to be a final eliminator to decide who will face the winner of the upcoming Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora three-peat, former WBC heavyweight titleist Deontay Wilder has been ordered by the council to face former WBA, IBF and WBO heavyweight titleist Andy Ruiz.
That's one of the dream fights that I always had.
The announcement came at the WBC's conference in Acapulco.
So the WBC will sanction Ruiz against Wilder as a final elimination for the mandatory position in the heavyweight division.
This would prove to be an interesting and perhaps exciting fight, as both men are looking to regain their former footing in the heavyweight division.
And I'm looking for more. I'm ready for the best of the best.
It should also be a relatively easy match to make, as Wilder and Ruiz fight under the same PBC banner.
He can make this fight happen, and let's do it, let's get it on.
Wilder held the title for 5 years between 2015 and 2020, defending it 10 times, before losing to Fury for the first time in their trilogy.
He really did show heart of a champion. I hit him with a clean right hand and dropped him.
Wilder, aged 37, was beaten by Fury for the 2nd time last year, but returned to the ring with an impressive first round knockout against Robert Helenius in October.
This time he set up with his legs, something we never saw before.
I didn't know how devastating it was until I seen him fall on the canvas.
The heavyweights have never met, with Ruiz previously holding the WBA, IBF, WBO heavyweight world titles after beating Anthony Joshua by knockout in June 2019. However, in their rematch, AJ won the belts back 6 months later, before losing them to current world champion Alexander Usyk.
I was mad at myself because I knew I should have trained, I knew I should have done better.
Ruiz set up the final eliminator by beating Luis Ortiz by unanimous decision in September.
The Destroyer, Andy!
Both boxers will be watching closely when Fury defends his WBC world title against Derek Chisora. Fury beat previous mandatory contender to his belt, Dillian Whyte, by a 6th round knockout in April, before announcing his brief retirement. The bout, should it be signed, would most certainly be broadcast as a pay-per-view event.
I mean, I'm here. Deontay Wilder is back, so I'm here to make this division back strong and exciting again.
Ruiz shocked the whole world when he stopped Anthony Joshua in the multiple belt heavyweight titleist American debut at MSG in 2019.
Good uppercut and a hook. Puts Ruiz down.
I got up, man, and I just throwing bombs.
Employing a considerable amount of speed and finding the gumption to get off the mat gave the Mexican-American the win of a career.
Unified IBO.
Unfortunately for Ruiz, he slacked off in between the first Joshua bout and their rematch around 6 months later.
In Saudi Arabia, I gained to like 310 pounds.
He ended up overweight and outclassed by Joshua the second time around, then took an extended amount of time away from the ring.
I'm not gonna stop boxing until I have this WBC belt.
With that in mind, Ruiz looked in better shape when he beat the talented Luis Ortiz earlier this year.
I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna throw my combinations, I'm gonna be fast, explosive, and I feel that right hand in his temple is gonna go down.
Wilder nearly needs no introduction.
That left hand was blocked.
The man may well be the hardest hitter in heavyweight history.
The best heavyweight in the world and the most dynamic fighter in the history of the sport.
He's dominated every man he's ever met in the professional prize ring, save for Tyson Fury.
Vicious right hand.
Tempo and pace.
What's more, Wilder's return this fall after nearly a year away from the ring consisted of a thunderous, nearly frightening knockout of Robert Helenius in the very first round.
This is not a sport. A sport is something you play. You don't play this.
Wilder, simply put, is one of the most entertaining fighters in the world.
Bomb Squad!
And in Ruiz, he'll clearly meet a worthy opponent, one who might well pull off an upset.
Andy has fast hands, he's explosive.
Provided, of course, that the two men agree to fight, which one would assume they will.